So a few weeks ago when I was on Facebook, I had these guitar picks pop up in my Facebook feed as an advertisement. They're a company called Acoustik Attak, and it's called the Attack pick. Chances are if you're a guitar player, you've likely seen this same advertisement and probably wondered how well these picks worked. So in this video, we're going to take a look at how well these picks stack up against some of my favorite guitar picks that I've been using for years. We'll take a closer look at the size and shape of these picks and find out if they're worth your time and effort. Let's dive in. So this is the Stealth pick here. It is made from nylon and composite carbon fiber. Probably closest to the JP3 in overall size. If you have a JP3 pick at home, this will kind of give you a very good idea of how large this pick is. The only real difference being the little extra that sticks up, the little point that the Acoustik Attak comes to on the back. So for another point of reference, we're going to take a look at it compared to the Dunlop Tortex. And you can see that the Tortex is really a large pick. You got a lot of edge sticking up here. So looking at it to the Hetfield pick, it is, kind of similar in size. The Hetfield pick is definitely larger and probably still a little bit broader. And when compared to a standard Jazz 3 pick, it's still considerably larger. So what I'm going to do from here is go ahead and fire up my guitar, put a little bit of playing time on this, and give it a really fair review. Alright, so I spent the past week playing with this pick here. I've put about 10 hours on it, and one of the things I've discovered is this pick really kind of excels at rhythm guitar playing and kind of chugging on the E. It's definitely the rounded bevel on this pick that makes it easier to chug on the lower strings. So while I didn't have any trouble getting harmonics out of this pick, I just feel that the Jazz 3 and the JP3 both make it just a little bit easier. And when it comes down to soloing, this pick actually did pretty well, but again, I gotta defer back to the JP3. That pick to me is kind of the gold standard for that type of play, and while this pick did just fine, I think the JP3 is still a better option. So I didn't really notice much of a tone change when playing with distortion, but when I was in a clean channel, I did notice that these picks were a little bit brighter, just a little bit treblier. Is treblier a word? Treblier? Anyway, definitely a little bit brighter, and I'll put the sample here. You may or may not be able to notice. I can't really tell the difference in the demo, but playing it live, I feel like there's definitely a little bit of a difference with this pick. Could you hear a difference? Because I really can't in the demo, but when playing it live and actually playing, there is a little bit of a difference. Anyway, let's move on to the pros and the cons of this guitar pick, starting with pro number one, and that is the size and shape of this pick. This pick is pretty much the exact same size as the JP3, and that's one of my favorite picks, so that really kind of appealed to me. The 2mm thickness of this pick worked well for rhythm style playing. And the second pro to this pick is that it's actually pretty conducive to a lot of different styles, whether you're just strumming chords, you're a rhythm player, or even a soloist. I felt like it was a very good all-around pick in that sense. And while I definitely think the JP3 is just a little bit better for soloing and harmonics, this pick also performed well here. Lastly, the third pro to this pick is the rounded beveling on it, and that's really what makes it easier to move between the heavier gauge strings. And I think if you're a metal guitar player, you'll find that you're able to really chug a little bit easier. So let's move on to the cons of this pick, because unfortunately, like with any product, there are some cons to it. And a few of the cons to me are, first of all, the grip, the 12 dots that are on here really serve little, if any, purpose. They don't really add any grip to the guitar pick, and I don't really see a function to them. If anything, I would tell you to take some sandpaper and just kind of scuff the area here, and that would help more than these actual dots would. And the second con to this pick, of course, is going to be price point. At the time of this video, these picks are around $18 for 10 of them, which really kind of puts them in line at the price of premium picks. If you're the type of person who loses picks or goes through them frequently, you could see how this could become a little bit expensive. Oh, and one more thing. These are supposed to be glow in the dark, so let's take a closer look and see how well these glow in the dark. So what I'm going to do is charge this up real quick and see how well it'll glow in the dark. So as you can see, my main camera couldn't really pick this up. When I shot it with the iPhone, that to me is more indicative of how this pick actually glows. The reality is that the pick does glow in the dark, it just isn't very bright, which is pretty much what I expected and how most things like this do glow in the dark. So let's go ahead and hit it with a black light and see if that makes a difference. So here we have our black light, our pick. And look at how that thing starts to glow, shutting all the lights off. This thing glows. Keep in mind, you couldn't even see this pick before in complete darkness with the same camera in the same settings. One of these hit the black light, the other one didn't. But this is standard glow in the dark, this is black light. So really, you've got to have a black light to, well, you can't see me. That's better. So really, you got to have a black light to make them glow really bright like this. I definitely feel that it's worth mentioning that there is no guitar pick out there that's going to give you an ability you don't already have. What you can find is guitar picks out there that can take your current ability and perhaps make you a little bit more accurate. And that's definitely what I think these will do for rhythm guitar players who play metal. And if you're a lead guitar player who's also a soloist, it's probably worth checking these out along with the JP3 and kind of comparing and seeing which you like better. I definitely feel like I liked the JP3 better in this sense, but you may actually find this pick to be better for you. Either way, I'll still leave an affiliate link in the description to this pick in case you want to check it out. Just keep in mind, I may earn a small commission from it. Be sure to check out this video right here where I outline some of my favorite guitar picks. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.